Welcome back to the next episode of Lone Star College Football. Y'all do us a favor and like the video, leave us a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're going to do a giveaway at 100. We're halfway there. $25 giveaway on the line. Today
Yes,
is our
sir.
Lone Star Locks pod. I'll just give it a little quick recap over last week. I went 8-4 last week, my best week so far, which is really good coming off a 4-7 week the week before. Puts me at 21-18 on the season. And in my opinion, as long as I'm above 500, I'm kind of happy. So, how'd you do last week, Logan?
Man, I had my best week of the season so far with the 7-5. I'm
Yeah.
19-20 on the season, and that puts me just 2 games back from you and 1 game back from 500. And I'm stressed. Man, Oregon played crazy. BYU played bad.
Yeah.
And Miami
There
played
was,
bad.
yeah.
It
There was a
was,
couple in here that I thought I could have won. I was surprised App State didn't cover over
yeah,
Troy.
for sure. That's what I was about to say.
Um, yeah, Miami I thought would have been a better matchup, but all that really matters is Texas covered and Baylor covered. So other than
Yeah,
that, hey, the
but
rest of these teams is what it is. But getting into week 5 or episode 5, I think it's
yes,
technically
sir.
week 4. We have one episode for our week 0 picks. So
Yep.
this is episode 5. I'll kick us off.
Uh,
Maryland at Michigan.
mm-hmm.
Michigan's 16.5 point spread, and give me the Wolverines. I think it's a Big Ten matchup. I see that. I just feel like Maryland's not that good. Like I was looking at it, and let me find on here and go to Mar because they're both 3-0.
Yeah,
But not we know that not all 3-0 teams are made equal. All right.
true, true.
Maryland beat Buffalo, Charlotte, and a decent win against SMU. I mean, they won by 7 at home.
Who who was
SMU's
Michigan
not
played this year?
super.
I know they played
Michigan
UConn
has,
last week. I think they played Hawaii and
yeah,
then like Colorado State.
right. So it's different. You're right. They're not playing great teams, but they're blowing them out 51-7, 56-10, 59-0.
Yeah,
While Maryland, they beat Buffalo 31-10. I mean, it's a 21-point win. They beat Charlotte 56-21. They give up 21 to Charlotte. Michigan's offense is gonna be way better than that.
yeah.
I like the Wolverines with this one.
Man, so on that one, I actually chose the Terps. Really?
Really?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'm not even gonna try to say Tua's little brother's name. Um, Julia, something like that. Julia Tagovailoa.
Little T.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But he's actually having a pretty good season so far. He's
Mhm.
77%, like right over 77%, almost 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's got 2 picks, but I want to say he's like a sophomore. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna say he's like a sophomore. Their offense actually, like the yards, like their running back has less carries than Michigan's running back, has more yards and less touchdowns. But same thing with their lead receiver, has less catches for like 50 more yards, and I think he has like 3 touchdowns. Um, yeah, I like Michigan on this one. I think that Maryland will barely cover. Um, but I think they'll give them a better game than a lot of people think. I just
Yeah,
wanted to
I'm
have a
not.
little different one in there.
Yeah, this isn't one that I would say I'm extremely confident on. Yeah, I could see you winning that one. So
Yeah, I
that's
mean, I can
cool.
see it
Well,
going either way.
yeah. Give us yours. Give us another one.
So I went down like by the times pretty much for our big six. So the next game up is Baylor at Iowa State, with Iowa State being the 3 point favorite in Ames. This one I lean back and forth with. Um, Xavier Hutchinson is a dog. Their quarterback's name just slipped my mind off the top of my head, but he's playing pretty good on the season from what I've seen or from what I've heard. He's playing really good. Their running game is weak, so I think that'll be a good strong point for us. Hopefully, we can disrupt the run game a lot, get a couple forced fumbles.
I don't know about that, man.
I mean that's not their strong suit compared to last
50,
year.
yeah, but their running back is 50 for 280. He's averaging 5.6 yards per carry. That's pretty great.
Mm.
And their quarterback, Hunter Deckers. He's a sophomore, 6'3", 206,
Pretty
throwing
good.
74% completion.
Yeah,
Well, give us your pick. Who'd you rock with?
I went with Baylor.
I knew you would.
Man, I'm not confident in that one at all. With it
Yeah.
being in Ames, hasn't really been a forgiving place for the Bears here in the past couple of years.
All right. Baylor at Iowa State. Iowa State's 3-point favorite. Man, I hated to do it. I'm going with Iowa State. And it's nothing personal.
I almost did.
But I'm looking at it and I'm thinking if the spread was 7.5, 6.5, I'd probably go Baylor. But Iowa State by a field goal. The reason I did it is because their quarterback, let me get back to stats. Their quarterback is throwing for 74% completions. He's got 8 touchdowns. He does have 3 interceptions. Their running back, like I said, 5.6, and Xavier Hutchinson at 11.4 per catch, 320 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that that's amazing. That's pretty good. It's pretty efficient offense. But when you look at their team stats, they only averaged 31.7 points per game, but that's because they beat Iowa 10-7. And
Mm-hmm.
Iowa is it's a pretty good Big Ten defense. Their offense is bad, but their defense is
Yeah, I was
pretty
about to say
good.
their offense dog water.
Um, and I just think about I'm watching the Baylor games, and I've watched 3 Baylor games this year. I don't know if I've ever watched 3 whole Baylor games in a year before. And I look at it, and it's like even last week, kind of the same with Texas. You end up with the score, and like it didn't really feel like Baylor won
Yeah,
that game
yeah, at
42 to
all.
7. It looked like they were like because at one point that game was like 21-7, and Texas
No, it
State
was
looked like they were
14 to
actually
7 for
right.
the
And it looked like
longest.
Texas State was about to drive down the field and tie it up. And so it kind of makes me think I don't know what I think about Baylor yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know what they could. I've seen the glimpse of what I think they could be, but I feel like I've seen too much of
Of
what they
what they,
might be.
yeah,
And it kind of concerns me. And since I wanted to go with Baylor, I was like, Logan's going to pick Baylor. I could pick Baylor, and then we either both lose or both win. But I was like, I don't know. In my gut, I think Iowa State might actually pull this off. Or what would be, I mean, I mean, if Baylor won by, well, you would still win because you picked Baylor. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game, close game.
yeah, that's what I put on
Um,
here. I just said a close game.
yeah.
It just
And
depends.
being in Ames, there's a lot going against y'all this week.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
but speaking of a road game, Texas Tech is traveling to Lubbock to play the TT Raiders. They got a little TT on their jerseys.
The TT
Uh,
Raiders.
the TT Raiders. Texas is a 6.5 point favorite, um, which I thought was kind of interesting because let me pull that game up. When you're looking at these two teams, you've got you've got the Longhorns who've played uh, Louisiana Monroe, Alabama, and UTSA. And when you look at our team stats, we're averaging 37 points per game. And on defense, we're only giving up like 16.3. And one thing I just said with Maryland and Iowa State is you look at who they're playing, it's like, okay, good. You're averaging 41 points, but you've played no defense. You've played no team with a good defense.
Yeah,
Texas has played Bama. We hung with Bama. But last week we still got a little bit of a scare in the first half. But then by the end of the game, you see the score, and it's like, okay, we won by 21. I picked the Longhorns at 6.5. We beat we beat Texas Tech by 35 last year. We hung 70 on them boys. And I look at Donovan Smith. This is probably the biggest reason I chose Texas by at least 7. Donovan Smith, I think he's pretty good in a way. I think he's got a strong arm. I just don't think he's good at decision making. 7
Yeah.
touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Even their backup quarterback has 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions.
Who, Tyler?
On no, so Tyler's hurt. Their
Yeah.
backup is Baron Morton.
Yeah, I wasn't
He's
sure if
only
you were
thrown
talking about
7. He's
Tyler or
only
not.
thrown 17 passes. 2 of them are picks. Their running backs are averaging 4.9 and 4.7. They've only got 27 and 21 carries, so not a large sample size, where that other guy was at 50, averaging 5.6.
Yeah.
Donovan Smith on the run is not a threat. He's got 34 carries for 31 yards. I'm not concerned about him.
How many sacks has he taken?
Mm.
I feel like that would be a
He's
pretty.
taken 10 sacks for 75 yards. So if you add 70, he's got 34 carries for 100 yards.
Mm.
Still not. That's like 3 yards a carry. It's still not anything that I'm stressing too much about. I don't want to get into too much because I do have pregame notes on that one. Give me the Longhorns. I think you're muted. While he figures that out, I'll go ahead and do Middle Tennessee and Miami. It's Middle Tennessee is traveling to Miami, 26.5-point favorite in the way of Miami. And hey, Luca. And I went ahead and yeah, you're sick. Hey, buddy. I picked Miami to cover that 26.5-point spread. Middle Tennessee, nothing special. They lost to James Madison.
Yeah.
And Miami hasn't really won any big games, and they lost to A&M like what was it, 17 to 6, 17 to 9 or something like that
It was a low
in
scoring
College
game.
Station. Yeah. So give me the Hurricanes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back to that Texas at Tech game. Sorry about that. He's having a rough night.
You
But yeah, I chose Texas because Tech is not gonna be able to stop Bijan. Like, yeah, that. Ooh, have we heard anything about Quinn? I saw that he was practicing with the
Yeah,
team.
he ran. My understanding is he ran with the ones on Monday.
Oh, like, wow.
They said he was throwing on the sidelines last week. Like he did warm-ups on the field throwing. We just figured we didn't need him, so we kept him out, I guess.
I'm taking the Longhorns either way. Either way, I'm taking the Longhorns. If we find out that Quinn's on, that spread's going way up. But Middle Tennessee at Miami, 26.5-point favorite for Miami. I feel like they haven't been playing like a top 25 team. Like, yeah, they against A&M, they played okay, but that's against a bad Texas A&M offense that just lost to Appalachian State. So Middle Tennessee lost to James Madison. James Madison is a good team this year, though. Like if you look at their record, like I'm bro, look at it. They're in the same like conference as App State, right? That's like the second best odds to win the Sun Belt. Is James Madison.
Well, James Madison plays App State this week, so
yeah, I know.
We'll find something out, I guess.
But I'm gonna give it to Middle Tennessee. I don't think Miami's offense is gonna play that great, or I don't think they have been playing that great. But moving on from that one, I got Oregon at Washington State, 6.5 favorite to the Ducks. I'm going with Oregon. Um, I haven't heard really much about Washington State. Haven't really looked. I mean, I see they're 3-0, but I'm not too sure who they've played.
Yeah.
Let me go and look real quick.
Well,
So,
they have a win against a ranked Wisconsin, who is no longer ranked, but they beat them 17-14.
yeah, but that was week 2, so it was kind of just like, okay, they went and played. Who's that? Indiana? Oh, Idaho, and only beat them 24-17.
Their defense already has 14 sacks and 4 interceptions.
Oh
Washington
wow,
State's does.
that's a lot better than Baylor. But again,
A
that's
lot
coming
better than
against
Texas.
Idaho. Don't know how they did against Wisconsin and Colorado State. Like, I'm not, especially how Oregon played last week. Not gonna be looking good for the Cougs.
Yeah.
I think they could.
Yeah, I picked the Ducks as well in that game. I don't feel like I need to go too much into that. I've same reason.
Yeah.
Washington State has a decent win over Wisconsin. I like Oregon's win over BYU more. So New Mexico at LSU by 30 and a half. This one was this one was kind of tricky for me
Yeah.
because I try to pull these up as I'm talking about it. They're not ranked, so I gotta go FPS. I look at the two teams and I think, well, first of all, I think, man, 30 and a half is a lot of points to try to give LSU.
Hmm.
New Mexico beat Maine 41-0, lost to Boise State 31-14, and beat UTEP 27-10. While LSU uh, lost to Florida State, beat a team that's just named Southern, and
Yeah,
then beat
that's
Mississippi
in
State
Louisiana.
by beat Mississippi State by 15. I've actually got New Mexico on this one. I think LSU will win by a lot, but they have to win by 31. And they've only got one win by more than that, and it's against Southern. Let's see. Let's click on that. Who is the Southern?
It's in
And
Louisiana. It's a real small school.
right, and so I uh I think LSU will win. I just don't know if they'll win by 31. I I could be very wrong on that. They might go out there and blow them up. I don't know.
I'll pick the Tigers. um,
That's fair.
no really reason why. Um, don't know who New Mexico's played. Boise, can't tell who that is, and UTEP. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like the Tigers are gonna get something going. Um,
Yeah.
there's not much for me to say on that one, really.
Well, move us into your next.
All right, this is where it gets interesting because this is where it might be different. But I'm gonna go ahead and say we both have this one, and that is Florida at Tennessee with
Yeah.
a 10.5 point favorite to Tennessee. And give me the Volunteers on that one.
Wow.
Feel like Hooker's playing pretty good this year. Florida, yeah, they beat Utah, but then they just went and I think they lost at home. Or no, they
Yeah.
barely beat South Florida last week, 31-28. Gary Bohannon must have been dotting them up, which is weird to say. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean they beat USF by 3 points in the swamp. In the swamp.
Yeah. So I've got that one as well, and I've got the Volunteers as well. And let me tell you why. Okay. There's one thing that I need to know, and I can really pick this game. I need to know how Tennessee's run defense is doing. Florida's passing game is terrible. Anthony Richardson, 53.2% completion, zero touchdowns, four interceptions.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's terrible. Now, on the flip side, though, their running backs, 25 carries for 250 or 240, 9.6 yards per carry, 22 for 166, 7.5 yards per carry. Their quarterback is averaging 5.6, and their third string running back, 24 for 100, 4.2. Their running game is the only thing that they've got. And I just don't know what Tennessee's run game is, but if Anthony Richardson's going to throw another pick or two in this game, I'm going with the Vols. So yeah, we're on the same page for that one. We probably have this one as well. Arkansas at Texas A&M,
Yo.
A&M by 1.5. Give me the Razorbacks. It was a fluke. Last week was a fluke. I don't know how Miami didn't win that game.
Yeah.
At home, A&M, I'll give them credit for their home crowd. Uh, yes, I know this is another home game for them. Arkansas, if Arkansas and Miami played, I'd pick Arkansas in that game. So Razorbacks beat them last year. I'm hoping for the repeat.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely went with Arkansas on that one. Last week, like you said, should not have happened. We both
Yeah,
picked Miami to win, and we were both really convinced and not wavered. Like, we're not going back and forth on that one. Like, the way they lost to App State, the way that they did, A&M's offense is not good. Their defense is okay. It's not great.
their defense is pretty good. I'll give them credit as being pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh man, I'm still like it.
We'll find
It's gonna
out.
be a bad year for A&M for sure.
I hope so.
But moving on to my next one, Notre Dame at North Carolina.
I know you'd pick that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know you're going to pick Notre Dame. So, no,
No, it's
not a
a
chance.
1.5 point favorite for North Carolina. Tar Heels are 3-0. The Fighting Irish are losing almost every fight that they're in, being 1-2. Notre Dame is not good at football. I've been saying it all year. They're not good.
I
The
feel
Tar
like
Heels
you've
about
been saying it for like 6 years and you're finally right and you're really happy about it.
no man.
You've been saying
No.
it for a long time. It's like, yes, they finally suck. Like I've been
Okay.
saying.
Listen to North Carolina's quarterback stats. Listen. 72 for 97. So around 71, 72% roughly. 930 yards, 11 touchdowns, one interception.
Dang,
I think that's pretty dang good.
that is really good.
um, now their run game is 38 carries. That's their leading rusher. 38 carries, 228 yards, five touchdowns. And then their leading receivers, 14 receptions, 172 yards, and two touchdowns. So they're handing out those touchdowns to everybody. It seems like if he's at 11 and their leading receiver only has two, I don't. They got a lot of. It looks like they got a lot of weapons if they're spreading around that much. So Notre Dame did not start. What was his first name? Buckner, Tyler Buckner, last week. That man has two interceptions, no touchdowns. But
Yeah.
last week was their lone win against Cal. That was by one touchdown. So it wasn't very good. I don't remember this other quarterback's name. I'm trying to look real quick. What was it? Pine?
Pine, Drew Pine.
That's a weird way to spell pine. But
He's a
anyways,
sophomore.
um, he had 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, still took 3 sacks. Um, yeah, Notre Dame's not good, and North Carolina seems to be pretty decent this year. Give me the Tar Heels,
Uh,
man. They got to win by 1.5.
North Carolina almost lost to App State as well.
Everybody
But
did.
yeah, I picked that game as well. I went with North Carolina also.
Yeah.
Uh, looks like we got a lot of same. I don't want to talk about that one too much. I feel like you covered it. I'll get into one that we probably both have the Iron Skillet Bowl, TCU at SMU. You got them on there? You missed it.
I
Wow.
forgot about that.
Well, I guess you could still fight me on it.
I doubt I'm going to.
You might. TCU is a 1.5 point favorite. Give me the Mustangs. Give me SMU. I think SMU's man. I got to pull up there. I was looking at the stats earlier, and their quarterback's kind of impressing me. I can't believe you missed that one, man. Oh, the spread is 2 now. It was 1.5 earlier.
So we just looked at it.
Yeah, it's 2 now, and I'm gonna take that 2 since I'm picking the underdog. Uh SMU stats. Their quarterback, he's got 1,000 yards already, 10 touchdowns. Yeah, yes, he does have 3 interceptions, but
It's
that's
also 10 touchdowns.
10 touchdowns. They've played North Texas, Lamar, and Maryland. They lost to Maryland by a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's more impressive to me. The TCU's only played in 2 games. They beat Colorado and Tarleton. So I like the Mustangs. Like I said, quarterbacks over 1,000. They got a running back with 24 carries, 6.5. Another running back, 4.5 yards per carry. They've got a receiver. What is this guy? 28 receptions for 491 yards already. Rashi Rice.
491 yards.
Yeah, in 3 games. So give me the
Jeez.
Mustangs.
I can't fight you on that one.
You can. You
No, I
wouldn't, but you
can't.
can.
Sonny Dykes came from SMU. He was their head coach for like the past however long, like 5 years plus, probably. Um, Everybody knows him. They're gonna know what he wants to do. TCU does not have Zach Evans, and as much as I know, I don't think they have another one of those Trayvon Boykins hiding out somewhere.
Mm-mm.
So their defense is probably not going to be good. I haven't even paid attention to them because they played Tarleton and who was it, North Texas? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at the Horned Frogs this year, dude. I'm not gonna fight you on that one. I'm not gonna fight you on that one.
Let's hear what you got.
So that puts me at James Madison at App State. Now, if I would have remembered the TCU SMU game, I probably wouldn't have thrown this one in there. I don't know, but App State is favored by 7 points, and I'm going to give it to App State. I
After
think
you
how
were
they,
just hyping up James Madison.
yeah, but did you not hear me say they're
Oh
probably
my.
the second best odds to
Oh
win this
my
one? Though,
gosh,
listen,
Logan.
listen.
You're backtracking on me.
How am I backtracking? Do you not remember all the hype I gave App State against Texas A&M?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to
I
see
think
if I'm
James
gonna fight you
Madison
on this.
could. I think App State's going to come back and play pissed off because of how bad they played against Troy with that last second Hail Mary last week. Um, App State's got dogs. James Madison has dogs. Those are two really tough teams, but I'm gonna give it to App State because it's at home for them. But if this one was later in the season, I probably would have swung it towards James Madison because they would have had more to play for.
Yeah. I'm not gonna fight you. Mainly because we've both played. Well, actually, James Madison's only played 2 games,
We got to
but
get
probably
through these last
wouldn't.
two real quick.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna fight you, but my
Bet.
last one is Duke at Kansas.
Me
Kansas
too.
is a 7.5 point favorite. Give me the Jayhawks.
Yeah.
The ESPN AP poll snubbed them. They're not ranked, but they probably will be after next week.
They are
4-0.
cold.
Go Jayhawks.
The Jayhawks are cold. Jalen Daniels is nasty. I don't care
Yeah.
what y'all say. He is nasty. Give me the Jayhawks rock chalk.
Yes, sir.
But yeah,
Oh, they
I'm trying
got
to come
that.
after that crown, bro.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get it, man. We disagree on too many this week that I'm gonna win. So that being said, we appreciate y'all. If y'all made it this far, do us a favor and like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. You can find him at L Patterson _3. You can find me at Christian H _88. You can find our channel on Twitter at LONESTAR _CFB. Appreciate y'all.